What if the most famous paintings you've ever seen aren't what they seem? Beyond the beauty, hidden in plain sight, lie encrypted messages and secret narratives deliberately placed by the artists themselves. Prepare to have your perception of art shattered as we expose the true meanings behind iconic masterpieces. For centuries, the art world has kept a secret. A language of symbols woven into its most celebrated works, concealing stories the powerful wanted to keep hidden. Today, we're cracking that code. Get ready to unveil the clandestine messages in art history's greatest paintings, revealing truths that have been intentionally obscured. Have you ever looked at a famous painting and felt like there was more to it than meets the eye? You're not wrong. From Da Vinci's enigmatic smiles to Bosch's bizarre landscapes, these artworks are packed with secret symbols and coded messages. Join us as we unlock the hidden narratives and unveil the true stories within these timeless masterpieces. What if I told you the art you've seen countless times holds secrets you've never imagined? We all know the famous paintings, the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, the Starry Night. We see them on posters, in books, and across the internet. But what if the real story isn't on the surface? What if these masters of art were also masters of deception, hiding messages for those with the eyes to see them? Today, we're not just looking at art, we're decoding it. We're embarking on a journey into a clandestine world where every brushstroke can be a clue and every object a symbol. We're going to uncover the real story, the one that's been waiting in the shadows for centuries. Let's start with one of the most famous paintings in history, Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. We all know the scene, Jesus and his disciples at their final meal. But look closer. Italian musician Giovanni Maria Palla proposed a fascinating theory. He claimed that the positions of the bread rolls on the table and the apostles' hands could be read as musical notes. When played, these notes form a hauntingly beautiful 40-second requiem, a somber melody fitting the gravity of the moment. Was Leonardo, a known musician and inventor, leaving behind a hidden soundtrack to this pivotal event? It's a compelling thought. Now, let's step into the quiet, intimate world of Jan van Eyck's The Arnolfini Portrait. On the surface, it's a beautifully detailed painting of a wealthy merchant and his wife in their home. But this painting is a treasure trove of symbols. Look at the chandelier. Only one candle is lit, and it's directly above the man's head. Some scholars interpret this as a symbol of the presence of God or the single flame of marital unity. And the dog at their feet. It's not just a pet. In the 15th century, dogs like this often symbolized loyalty, fidelity, and wealth. The entire painting is like a visual marriage contract, with every object testifying to the couple's status, piety, and commitment. Even the artist's signature on the back wall, which reads Jan van Eyck was here 1434, acts as a witness signature to the union. But what about when the symbols aren't so serene? Let us venture into the wild and surreal world of Hieronymus Bosch's The Garden of Earthly Delights. This triptych is a visual feast of the bizarre. The left panel shows the Garden of Eden, the center a fantastical landscape filled with nude figures and giant fruit, and the right a terrifying depiction of hell. For years, people were baffled by its meaning. But it's believed to be a powerful moralistic warning. The central panel, with its indulgence in worldly pleasures, isn't a celebration. It's a cautionary tale about where a life of sin leads. The strange fruits, the oversized birds, the glass orbs, they all symbolize temptation and the fragility of earthly pleasure. The right panel is the consequence. A hellscape where sinners are punished in ways that directly relate to their sins. For example, a glutton is force-fed by a bird-like demon. Bosch was using this vivid, nightmarish imagery to preach a sermon on canvas, a message about morality that would be unforgettable to anyone who saw it. Now let's look up. At the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo's The Creation of Adam is iconic. We see God reaching out to give life to Adam. But take a closer look at the swirling cloaks surrounding God and the angels. In 1990, a physician named Frank Lynn Meshberger pointed out something astounding. Its shape bears a striking resemblance to a sagittal view of the human brain. The folds and contours match the cerebrum, the brainstem, and other key parts. What could this mean? Was Michelangelo, who had dissected human bodies, suggesting that God was bestowing not just life, but intellect and consciousness? Was he saying that the divine gift is the human mind itself? It's a powerful and subversive idea for its time, hiding a profound statement about humanity and knowledge within one of the most sacred works of religious art. From the Renaissance, we jump to the turbulent world of post-impressionism with Vincent van Gogh's The Starry Night. We see the swirling, emotive sky, the glowing moon, and the tranquil village below. It's often seen as a pure expression of Van Gogh's inner turmoil. But there's more science here than you might think. UCLA art historian Albert Boehm discovered that the sky in the painting accurately depicts the astronomical configuration on the morning of June 19, 1889, as seen from Van Gogh's asylum window. The moon was in a gibbous phase, and the bright star near the cypress tree is actually Venus, which was particularly brilliant at that time. Even the swirling nebula in the center corresponds to sketches of the Whirlpool Galaxy made by astronomers of the era. Van Gogh wasn't just painting his feelings. He was merging his emotional vision with a deep, almost scientific observation of the cosmos. Art can also carry hidden political messages. Take Eugène Delacroix's Liberty Leading the People. It's the quintessential image of revolution, celebrating the July Revolution of 1830 in France. Liberty, personified as a powerful woman, leads a diverse group of Parisians over the barricades. But the overt theme isn't the whole story. Look at the people following her. There's a bourgeois gentleman in a top hat, a working-class urbanite, and a young boy brandishing pistols. Delacroix was making a subtle but crucial point. This revolution wasn't just for one class. It was a unified uprising of the French people, from all walks of life, fighting together for a common cause. He's not just celebrating the victory, he's documenting the very fabric of the movement, the unity that made it possible. This painting was so powerful and potentially inflammatory that it was hidden from public view for years by the government. So, why would artists go to all this trouble? Why hide these messages? There are many reasons. For some, like Michelangelo, it could have been dangerous to express certain ideas openly. Challenging the church or established beliefs could have severe consequences, so hiding a message in plain sight was a form of protection. For others, it was a way to communicate with a select, educated audience. Using complex symbolism was like a secret handshake, a way for intellectuals to share ideas that might be lost on the general public. Patronage also played a role. An artist might need to include symbols to flatter their wealthy patron, while also weaving in their own personal beliefs. And sometimes it was simply an artistic challenge, a way for artists to prove their intellect and skill, adding layers of meaning that would give their work lasting power and intrigue. These hidden symbols were a necessary tool, a language of subtlety in a world that didn't always welcome direct expression. After exploring these hidden worlds, it's clear that great art is never just a pretty picture. It's a historical document, a philosophical treatise, a secret diary, and a puzzle box all rolled into one. The masters weren't just painters. They were storytellers, cryptographers, and geniuses who used their canvases to communicate across centuries. They invite us not just to look, but to see. They challenge us to question, to investigate, and to discover the rich narratives that lie just beneath the surface. The next time you stand before a famous painting, don't just admire its beauty. Look for the clues. Ask yourself why the artist included that specific object, that strange gesture, or that unusual color. Your eyes will never see art the same way again. The world of art is filled with countless more secrets just waiting to be uncovered. What other masterpieces do you think are hiding a secret message? Is there a painting you've always found mysterious? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your theories. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey today. If you enjoyed cracking these codes with me, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next deep dive into the hidden stories of our world. See you next time.